Il est beau, beau, beau.
Ouais, mon vieux.
Il est caca. Il est beau caca.
Ah, ça oui.
Il est beau qu'à quoi? Il est beau qu'à ça. Il est beau qu'à ça. Deuxième couplet.
À chaque reprise, vous avez effectué votre travail avec un extraordinaire professionnalisme, avec habileté et courage. Mais le Congrès n'a pas rempli sa responsabilité. Par conséquent, une grande partie de notre gouvernement doit s'arrêter. Vos supérieurs vous donneront plus d'informations sur les conséquences que cela aura sur vous et sur vos familles.
You scumbag! You're watching you now, you piece of shit.
Why are you teaching at CUNY? What do you have to say? Huh? Every
class,
David!
Every class, David! Every class, David! Every class, David! Every class, David! Every class, David! Every
Don't worry.
war criminal! Betray us out of CUNY! 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 That's betraying! He's a war criminal! He's a war criminal! He's a war criminal right here! He deserves to be tried! What you doing in our school trial? You should get out of our school system. You don't belong here. You're just nothing but a war criminal. Disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself, goddamn.
We were just hearing from the head of the army in Brussels, US General Ray Odierno, saying that they needed to resolve this budget shutdown as soon as possible.
Système d'écoute généralisé, organisé par les USA, par l'Angleterre, mais aussi avec certainement des participations plus ou moins affichées, notamment allemandes. Et ce débat qui est très vif en Allemagne, j'ai eu l'occasion de m'en rendre compte en discutant avec des amis allemands. Ça fait d'ailleurs l'objet, pratiquement, c'est un des points de la campagne électorale en Allemagne. C'est le positionnement du gouvernement Merkel vis-à-vis de cette question de l'écoute massive organisée par la NSA. Dans ce débat est sortie une information qui, je ne suis pas sûr, a été reprise ici en France, à savoir que l'infrastructure qui permet ce système d'écoute est l'infrastructure OTAN. C'est dit noir sur blanc. Deuxième élément de la situation actuelle, on a déjà eu l'occasion de parler du grand marché transatlantique. Il se trouve que dans les débats, dans les discussions, parce que débat, je ne sais pas s'il y a eu, en tout cas les discussions que Obama a eues notamment avec Merkel et d'autres, il a clairement dit, s'est clairement référé à l'OTAN en tant que modèle à suivre. Il a dit en gros, nous sommes arrivés à constituer une alliance sur le plan militaire. Aujourd'hui, il est temps de renforcer notre alliance sur le plan économique.
Video cameras caught trucks arriving at the World Trade Center from about August 23rd until every night until about September 2nd, September 3rd. And the trucks were arriving at about 3 o'clock in the morning when everybody else had left the building, including the janitorial trucks. And the trucks were leaving at 5 a.m. right before the AAA personalities of Wall Street got to work to start their day. Something was brought into that building that would help with the detonation. There may have been work done on the detonation before. It may have been going on for months, but whatever they needed at the very end, they came and brought in that 10-day period. That's what we think happened. The airplane hijackings were a cover for the controlled demolition, which was undertaken by a small group of people, probably just 4 or 5 people. We are never going to know who they are, and it's not worth looking for them. And in August of 2001, I was told to stay out of New York City because the attack was considered imminent. We expected mass casualties and a possible miniature thermonuclear strike.
This is Lugudowski of WeAreChange.org. I'm here with Everett Stern, who is an HSBC whistleblower. Now, Mr. Stern, can you tell us what you found that HSBC was doing?
Sure. What I found was criminal manipulation of the wire filter. So there are certain names that OFAC bans where certain companies and people we can't do business with. And they're listed in an actual filter. So what these geniuses at HSBC figured out was to just change the codings on the names a little bit, add a dash, a dot or a dash, so it wouldn't match with the wire filter and the payments would go through. And that's how hundreds of millions of dollars went from Kariba supermarkets in Africa and Gambia to Tajiko in Lebanon, which is owned by the Tajain brothers, which are financiers of Hezbollah.
What kind of organizations, what kind of groups were on that list?
Terrorist organizations, Hamas, Hezbollah, drug cartels, Russian mobsters, any bad guy you can possibly think of.
Yeah. So you discovered how HSBC was manipulating code in order to wire money and do money laundering for terrorists and criminals and gangs.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Holy cow! I mean, that's just, did they do this for the sole purpose of greed, or like, I know it's hard to theorize, but why do you think HSBC did this?
I don't know. I can't comment on why they did it, but I'll tell you though how they're still doing it. What they did is that when I joined, they only had maybe 15 compliance officers in the whole department in Newcastle, Delaware. So what they did was they sold off their credit card division to Capital One, and they took all these debt collectors and customer service agents, and they fired them, and then they rehired them as anti-money laundering compliance officers, and with no AML experience, nothing, and they're still there now approving transactions, and they showed the government, oh wow, we have this huge anti-money laundering compliance program when the whole thing's a sham. There is no anti-money laundering program.
Can you tell us how you found these documents, how you found this important, huge leak?
Through simple internet searches and having 2 brain cells in my brain.
And you were working there, and that's how you were able to uncover everything?
Yeah, I was a anti-money laundering compliance officer there. Out of business school, I was a candidate for the clandestine service before I joined HSBC. And I joined October 2010. 3 weeks in, I started passing information to the CIA and was doing that for about a year.
And my major thing I wanted to know is, becoming a whistleblower, how was that? What consequences did you face? How are you right now? Are you facing any legal troubles? What's happening with you coming out and blowing the whistle on this very important case?
Sure. HSBC is threatening me with legal action. I really don't care. But it's a national security issue. My sole objective is to protect the United States of America. So I don't care. But we have, I have a massive legal team that is fighting them. And is filing with the government. There's an ongoing investigation against them now. It was hard, though, becoming a whistleblower. A lot of people, until the media really started reporting on it, I would say until the Rolling Stone article, that's when, right when I was featured in Rolling Stone, that's when I had more of people supporting me, and they're like, oh, wow, this guy's actually doing a good thing. Before, it was, this guy is just, doing an off-end type deal. It's very hard.
Was HSBC held responsible for their criminal activity?
No, they were fined $1.9 billion, and they should have gone to jail. They again, like if I were to donate $1 to Hamas or Hezbollah, I'd go to jail for life. These guys are just no consequence at all, and they're still doing it.
And we're not talking about $1. Like, how much money are we talking about?
Well, billions. Wow. Billions of dollars. And we're talking to the Zeta drug cartel. 500,000 Americans die a year from drugs. And we're, a block away, there's a bank that's giving money to the drug cartels. That's crazy. Yeah. The NYPD here, they're getting killed in the streets. At 9/11, you got firefighters dying. From a block away from here, and they're supporting it, and we're allowing that to go on, all because the administration says they don't want to cause a financial crisis. If there's another 9/11, I can guarantee you that's going to cause another financial crisis.
It brought Too Big to Fail to a whole nother level, and it's really disgusting, but it's amazing and beautiful to have human beings like you who are willing to speak out, and I mean this truly because it's amazing what you did. Now, we're here at Occupy Wall Street. Now, I know this isn't probably typically your crowd, but can you tell us why you are here today?
I'm here today because this even though as a conservative Republican, this transcends the political issues, and the enemy of my enemy is my friend. I mean, again, I disagree with a lot of what these people are saying. I really do, to be honest with you. But they are willing, they care enough where they're willing to unite against a common enemy, and they care. They just want the best for the country too. So I'm with these people, and I believe in that caring, and I think it's great that they're out here with signs protesting. I think it's awesome.
Thank you so much for your heroic actions. People could find you on Stern Everett on Twitter. We're going to have the link in the description. And again, God bless you for all your heroic work and speaking out and uncovering the truth.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
We often hear about Australia's AAA credit rating, and the agencies that bestow those ratings on nations and corporations around the world are incredibly powerful, given their influence to make or break. But will they wield that power for much longer? A tenacious group of Australian lawyers is taking the ratings agencies to court in Amsterdam, following a successful action in Australia last November. At stake are billions of dollars and possible bankruptcy for the very organisations that evaluate the credit risk of the world's movers and shakers. Greg Hoy reports.
The scenic Dutch capital of Amsterdam is the latest front in a global war targeting the giants of international credit ratings, Standard & Poor's, Fitch and Moody's. Masters of the global financial system, their ratings approval is anxiously sought by nations, states and corporations alike.
Their market capitalisations each are in excess of $10 billion.
They have proved to be either incompetent or corrupt or even both.
Netherlands lawyer Gidget Brugman is taking on Standard & Poor's, the biggest agency. The case claims S&P helped Dutch multinational ABN AMRO market millions of junk or debt securities across Europe.
En daarom kies ik ABN AMRO.
ABN AMRO is accused of selling the highly questionable investment securities with S&P's highest rating, but their values soon collapsed, fueling the flames of the global financial crisis. S&P denies any responsibility, claiming its high rating was just an opinion.
I don't think that rating agencies just give an opinion. They make a living of giving opinions, and they know that the financial world is relying on their opinions. I mean, it's one of the major factors in order to come to an investment decision.
The Dutch case is driven by an historic precedent in Australia. In November, the federal court in Sydney found S&P and ABN liable for damages that were suffered by investors who relied on S&P's rating. The claim was S&P had rated and ABN marketed an investment product both knew didn't deserve the AAA rating it was given.
It is a worldwide precedent. The rating agency is not as untouchable as it used to be. So that's quite important for, well, the whole financial world.